Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to the Firewall Files. Today's episode is pre-recorded with the mods. I'm super excited. I've been wanting this episode for a while, so excuse me because I'm also just now getting over my sickness, but I wanted to make sure that I had an intro to this, so I'm really glad that I got that pre-recorded before I sounded like shit. But I hope you guys all enjoy a little bit about tech, a little bit about being a mod, and a little bit about Twitch, and maybe some stories about you that we like to talk about in our free time. Enjoy. Okay,
And this kitten needs petted.
the three topics. Shut the fuck up. My three topics I just want to hit, and you guys can bring them up however you want. But I just want to do everybody's gonna want to know your guys' tech background, so you guys can talk about what it's like having those jobs, and
I
then
do IT for a strip club.
Yeah, damn, bro, that's crazy. Official Trump memes just dropped, by the way.
I actually only met the mod team because I was working at the strip club that Craig does IT at.
quote
Yeah,
IT.
an IT job at Pornhub.
Oh yeah, I was giving some technical support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, systems were down, right?
Mhm.
And then we just want to touch on what it's like to mod for me. Like, what are your guys' experiences on
Yes.
a whole? Not for me, but the things you have to deal with, and
Have you ever
what's
been,
it like?
abused by your parents? Even better, have you
Constantly.
ever,
Still.
honestly, even better, have you ever had an experience where your mom slips and falls, and now she's very handicapped, and you have to take care of her?
Yeah. But when she slips and falls, she falls on your childhood dog, killing it
Yeah.
instantly.
Weirdly,
No,
weirdly racist behind the scenes when nobody's looking.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Kind of
that dog did
abusive,
say some questionable shit.
smokes
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of cigarettes and drinks a lot of fucking beer.
Yeah. And then by the time it hits 11, she's ready with the belt for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
clockwork.
Okay.
I feel like
And-
I'm missing a few references here.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
no, don't worry about it.
And then lastly, I just want your
We'll eat some
guys'
bread.
POV. I always talk about mine on stream, so I want you guys to tell your favorite stories and your POV of the mod trip and what it was like, you know.
Oh, when Chris
What it
finally
was-
stuck it in my ass.
Oh man.
I mean, the first
That was
time that I
fun.
started giving you or when you gave me the neck job through the headrest in San Diego, that was
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. I'm great at that. That's my specialty.
Dude,
Mhm.
I blew Delta's back out on the balcony in Nashville. It was fucking
Okay.
crazy.
We'll
And then-
start-
and then you left
I
him out
fucked
there.
that. I fucked that man so hard he forgot how to open the door.
Didn't you suck the cum out of his belly button?
Oh,
my
yes, I know. That was being Craig. There's the clips of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we have this
Go see it on the Patreon.
the three we have our three topics for today. We'll start with we'll go. I feel like mod trip will get more
I
degenerate
feel
with
like the
stories.
podcast is done.
I feel like
Yeah,
mod
man,
trip
I don't
is
know.
Is this not enough content?
and then at the end you guys are gonna do the confessional with me, so you guys can all react this time live.
Okay.
I gotta confess the one time that I slipped it and Delta's
No,
ass.
you don't give me one. I have one for you.
Confessional.
Oh,
Daddy, forgive me for I've sinned.
Are you
Um,
gonna
Fine.
confess to something we've
Real.
already been bragging about?
that's fine. That's the confessional. I
Okay.
liked it too much.
we'll
That's
start with the
confessional.
tech because I feel like the further we go with our personal stories towards each other, the more degenerate it'll get. So just to get this out of the way, because
Yes.
people are gonna be curious. How long have you guys been doing this, and what are your jobs? And all at the same time.
Wait, same time? Yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 3
No, we've
years.
all- I think I've been.
3 years and
I've
4
played these
score.
games before.
I've
He played these
I
games.
Let's see.
played these games before.
Okay, well, I'll go down the list. Icarus, how many years have you been doing this, and what is your current job?
How many years have I been doing what? Like moderating?
No,
Or, like,
home
IT.
IT.
Stupid motherfucker.
I have been doing
Oh
IT for
my.
less than a year. I'm
Okay.
the baby. I'm bad at it, but I like being mean to people that ask me for help.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Craig, what about you?
I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm a fucking network engineer / security fuck.
Okay. Ethernet doesn't work in tech currently, but how many years did you work?
He works on a computer.
I work on a computer, but I also do handle the tech stuff now.
Oh, okay.
partially.
Valid then. Go ahead, carry on.
But I'm a 911 dispatcher and I handle high value electronics that save people's lives half the time.
With all of our personal information on it.
Yeah, I have everyone's
Yes.
government information.
And they sell it to China.
Yeah.
We already
He's
have
actually
your
been.
social- We already have your social security number, so you can just comment it in chat. Doesn't
He's
matter.
actually the
Yeah.
reason TikTok's getting banned. He's the one selling the
Yeah.
data to China.
Ethernet's the leak. Blame
He's
him.
been an adversary.
That's the best to the socials.
Critter, go ahead.
I have been in tech and software for like 4 years. Started out doing field services. Fucking hated that. Man, transitioned over to being product manager in software engineering on web apps, writing in TypeScript and
Okay.
fun stuff
Yeah.
in esports. I'm a gamer.
What he's saying is he goons a lot during work.
Dude, I jerk it off all day
Yeah,
long.
me personally, I like to.
Allegedly.
So when I work from home, I literally goon, and then I'm also gooning while I'm on the call. That just makes it better.
Yeah, they only see from the nips up, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even video chat. It's just all voice, baby.
No, I'm on video chat. They can see the whole thing. They just have to
Okay.
uncomfortably ask me questions while I'm beating off.
Your camera's not waist down, guys.
Nope.
Clearly hasn't
Depends on
adapted
the
to
day.
remote work.
Under the desk.
That's crazy.
You don't have 6 different angles.
It's actually there's no angle of my head. It's just entirely just.
I've
my
got-
back.
I've got one camera per toe.
Mmm.
Roberto.
Kind of
That's crazy.
multi-layer there. I like that.
Redundancy. That's what we like in IT.
Damn right, yeah.
Okay, and then I've got Neon in here. Neon does not work in tech, but he is one of my mods, so he'll give you some
He
input
touches a
today.
computer, so he works in tech.
Yes.
I do touch a computer. I have zero IT or tech background ever whatsoever. I am a licensed peer support specialist. I work in mental health and substance abuse treatment. Don't ask me how I ended up here. It boggles my mind every day.
He's
He
just
ends up
humble. He
here-
doesn't want to admit it, but he does cybersecurity for his company.
Well, no. The real answer is that we all abuse substances. Aside from him, obviously, and we went
Yeah.
we went to him for help, and for some
Yeah.
reason, instead of helping us, he actually groomed us and forced us into this Discord server.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
how long
And
have you
was
been
still
touching
addicted.
this innocent computer?
Um,
Okay.
you see, for a long time. I also touch toes.
Oh, he's a toe guy.
Oh,
Toe
my
toucher.
God.
Toe toucher in
God.
chat.
Predator's
There it is.
10-toe stream is his favorite stream.
Yeah.
Mm.
Link to
He
feed,
just
Critter.
keeps
Link
calling
to
in for
feed.
tech support.
And then
It's twitch.tv/crittertoe1, and then you just increment the numbers from there to get the right toe.
and lastly we have Delta.
I've been in tech for, I guess, 3 years now with a 1-year break. My title is just tech support specialist, but I do a lot more than that.
All right, so that's them. That's the intro. You guys can all converse with each other, but when you all like started, kind of like what I make jokes about, like how did it feel to be like in the beginning of your careers of IT?
So
Yeah,
I
not it.
started, I started like giga corporate. I got thrown in as an IT intern at BlackRock, and BlackRock was you always start with your morning blood. You have to drink your blood in the morning if you work at BlackRock. It's a requirement. But
Of course.
honestly, giga chill. But like on like the day to day, but the politics, the corporate politics in a mega corporation like that are so ass.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like at my level it was fine, but like you kind of as you look up and you kind of watch people go, you can tell so much that people are just like fighting for position there. Versus like startup where I'm at now is like super cheap or not cheap, chill. Sometimes cheap.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
it's
say
like-
both.
It's like it's super chill compared to like giga corporate. You can kind of like just relax a little bit more. I feel like.
hmm
I did the typical. I was a field tech. I used to drive everywhere in an MSP, and then I worked my way out of there. In like 6 months, I was remote.
Damn, that's nice. People's dreams.
Fuck that shit. It was fun. It was fun, but fuck that shit.
Dude, I was
Being a field tech for an MSP is fucking ass.
I was doing the same thing. I was in the like outside of the BlackRock. I was doing a contract work for an MSP, and I was driving everywhere. They wanted me one time to do, it was like a 4-month contract of basically redoing all of the Cat 6 cable routing and terminating in like ShopRites on like Long Island
Wow.
and like New York. But it would have been like, I think it was the hours were like 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. I was like, fuck
Oh.
no, dude. Hell no. You want me to commute into Long Island, step foot in Long Island, but also terminate Cat 6 cables? Fuck no. And
Yeah.
overnight, while I'm like also completing college, so I'd be doing classes during the day. I'm like, I would not sleep. So absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking I was a forklift operator, and then I saw an
You're a
opening in IT.
He's
You're a
forklift
CFO?
certified.
Oh my
Holy
god.
Holy
I
shit,
was-
everything
I
makes
was
sense.
Who's a
forklift certified.
fucking CFO here?
Bro, he has the biggest dick in here.
Oh my god. I mean, we knew that.
Yeah, we've all
Yeah.
seen it. It's not.
Yeah.
Fucking,
A whopping 4.5 inches.
Yeah, we had like a bulletin board in the hallway next to the break room, and I saw the job openings. I saw one in IT, so I just took my resume to the fucking hiring manager. I was like, "Here's what I got. I know it's not much, because like legit the only computer experience I had was like obviously like playing games and stuff and building computers, but other than that, it was just like random shit I picked up from my dad because he worked in IT, and somehow I got the fucking job.
Yeah.
I don't have any certs or anything.
Delta walked into the office and it was just a like plain white room. There's like a
Black
dark brown
couch.
desk. Yeah, there's like
He
a
said,
black
pull down your
couch.
pants.
Yeah,
Super
there was some
weird.
cameras set up too,
Yeah,
actually.
he had a camera in there for some reason. He walked out sore afterwards, but he had the job, so
Okay.
Dude, that was
All
a
that matters.
nice couch actually.
All right. My
Also,
next. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, crazy pull that I didn't even get to the couch. I said plain white room, brown desk. He's like, oh, obviously that's a casting couch.
Clearly was the
That
casting
room-
couch.
That room is burned into my mind.
It's not so much
Yeah.
the
I've seen
room,
these
it's that
walls
I know
before.
you.
Yeah, whatever you say, you fucking gooner.
All right. My next one is I would love like people. I would love to know your guys' opinion on this, but this is the number one question I get the most. But how do you feel? Like, what is your perspective? Do you need to go to college? Do you need a cert? Do you think it's just experience? Like, what is your like? How do people get an entry level job in your opinion?
I'd say
I
at
am
least a high
personally a
school diploma or
D1
GED.
college hater.
Valid.
I mean, realistically, all you need is to get like an A+ cert and then apply a shit ton. I would go to look for like local MSPs, because if you're applying to like a gigacorp by your house with just an A+ and a high school diploma, you ain't getting the job. You need to find a local like break fix or MSP and do the shitty like field tech work, and then you got to go from there. And for degrees, you don't really need one, but it depends. If you want to work for like a gigacorp, you're most likely gonna need one. They don't care what it is, but they just want you to have one.
Yeah, degrees are interesting in like the
Yeah.
current time because you can absolutely grind certifications and get your way into companies. More so for the software engineering side. Like I'll say one of the best engineers we've ever had was a boot camp kid. But if you are a boot camp person, you're going to be scrutinized much more heavily because for every prodigy boot camps and certification put out, you're going to have the 100 dipshits who have no clue what they're doing.
Mhm.
Also, if you're somebody who wants to climb the corporate ladder, you're gonna find that yes, you're able to probably find an entry level job based on certifications alone, but one, your pay is gonna be limited because you don't have a degree, and if you want to climb up the corporate ladder or even transition to another company for like a higher position, middle management, upper management, you're gonna find a much harder time doing that earlier in your career if you don't have a degree. It's realistically it's gonna set you back a few years. But if you're okay with that, well, do it, put in the work. But
Mhm.
you have
I
to be
can say, like, as somebody from, like, literally, I just did this with absolutely nothing. I, like, studied for A plus and then just put that on my resume. I
Yeah.
put, like, partial A plus completion, and they were like, yeah, it's good enough.
I mean,
And,
Yeah, you can absolutely put in progress stuff on
Yeah,
your resume.
you put in progress and apply because genuinely, like, some places will be totally cool with that. And especially mine is like an outsourcing firm, so they just will take you. And once you have your foot in the door like that, you can
Yeah.
shove your way through for sure.
and
I'm not gonna speak too much on this because
Yeah.
I was a kind of a special case. I like tripped over a fucking rainbow and landed in a pot of gold.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I was.
yeah.
So I I don't have any certs or anything, but I know it's not very typical that you'll get a job without any certs.
Yeah,
I
that's how I
mean,
am. That's why I don't feel like giving advice, because like I just got
Just
lucky with a tech job that needed somebody at the
well,
time.
you kind of have to have that force of personality and you have to be willing to be tested on it. Like, if you genuinely know your shit, it's not about the cert. I mean, the cert will definitely help you get in the door, but if you can get an interview or something and you know your shit, they're not going to be worried about it.
And I mean, just to go to show the trends, at least, starting in like summer of 2025, the U.S. government is just dropping all degree requirements for IT technical roles and just going to skill-based hiring. So,
Which is
that-
awesome because if
Yeah.
you're in an entry level job now and you can start to grab some bougie government IT job, you are going to be set.
yeah,
Mhm.
but
Which is
that
why
just-
I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to it, guys.
that just goes to show the trend. I mean, a lot of jobs you definitely need a degree in, but IT you can get really far without one because a lot of jobs are switching to skill-based hiring because not as many people are pursuing degrees now and they're realizing that they have a lack of talent if they are only hiring people with degrees.
Yeah, and the thing with a degree
Yeah.
too is a lot of degree programs you're going to go through, and one of the products we develop is that my job is a learning management system, so I've kind of observed and kind of learned the processes of like purchasing curriculum and all that stuff. A lot of what you're learning in your classes is currently outdated or is going to be outdated very fast, specifically in
Yep.
tech. Like one of my textbooks was I forget, like Windows 10 had been out for a bit now. I think it was Windows 10 or it just came out or whatever it was, but it was recommending Windows 7 and like the new Windows 7 or like the newly updated Windows 7 operating system. I'm like, all right, cool. So this book is crazy outdated because schools, there's so much bureaucracy to going into purchasing curriculum, and the sales cycle in education is like usually around 6 months. So you're gonna have to anyway go and do those certs and learn information that you didn't necessarily learn in the classroom. And honestly, most of what I've learned and know, almost all of it came from work experience. All you're getting in the classroom is how to think in theory, and just proving that you can complete a long-term commitment. Your actual skills and knowledge, you're not getting that out of a degree.
No.
Yeah.
A degree is more of a checkbox for HR nowadays, and it's only for certain companies.
Hopefully going away.
Like there's some really big Fortune 500 companies that won't give two shits if you have a degree or not, but there are some companies that not going to get a degree, you're just locking yourself out. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but if there are certain companies that you want to work for in the future, you need to check.
Yeah, you also need to think about competitiveness. Like right now, especially in tech,
Yeah.
is so hyper competitive to get jobs. Depending on where you're going. If you're looking at like L1 and like starting like super basic field tech stuff, but if you're trying to get into a more upper position and you're trying to maybe get beyond that entry level, you have to look at who you're applying against. And a lot of the time, when you kind of advance beyond that entry level, you're applying against people who maybe have the same certifications as you, the same credentials as you, but they have a bachelor's in computer information technology or whatever it may be, computer systems. That person, most of the time, is going to get the job just because they have that extra credential that you don't have. So that's another thought of it is it gives you a leg up when, by just, like you said, it's a checkbox, being able to add that extra part to your resume.
Good insight. They'll enjoy that. Um, Last question for the tech area. I see a lot in my DMs, like people really glorify working in IT, and it is like it's definitely a good job to have that keeps us set because it'll always be around. But if you could tell somebody that's going to be pursuing or is about to start their first job, what is something you wish you would have been told that you would tell
People are
them?
going to be fucking dicks to you.
Yeah.
You especially if you're field services, software, anything. I have done field service. I have done help desk, both remote and in person. I do software now. It doesn't matter what side of tech you're going to be in. Whenever something breaks, it is your fault, and they're going to be dicks to you, and you have to put on a face and smile and wave.
Yeah.
Not only that, you don't even understand how stupid people are.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you could not comprehend the levels of, like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
And I
like,
see-
I have to explain this to you.
And that's why, like, when I make my TikToks, people are like, "You really hate your job," and it's like, I love my job. Like, they give me a reason to have a job because of how dumb they are. But like, you have to understand, like, this is a daily occurrence. I'm gonna make a joke out of it. Like, and people understand that. And the people that don't work in tech, they just see some girl bitching, but it's like the rest of us, we get it.
Yeah, tech is not a like you see on TV. Be some fucking basement dwelling nerd and hide in the dark room. It is a customer service job. It is a
Yeah.
well paying customer service job, and if you can't have the core social skills to be able to at least smile and wave when somebody's being a dickhead, you're not going to succeed. So you need to be expecting to have to deal with frustrated people on a regular basis.
Also, a big thing too, when you are starting your first IT role, you are going to have major imposter syndrome, and that is completely normal because your whole goal in that first role is to learn. So try to not beat yourself up when you don't know how to configure a switch or an AP or change firewall rules on day one.
Yeah. Also, ask questions.
Yes.
You know,
always,
ask questions.
So many
there's
questions.
always going to be more to learn. Fucking, I had to learn so many systems when I first got in, and it's like systems I would have never thought of, like HubSpot. I don't know if y'all have ever used that at all, but like, it's an insane amount of systems that our company uses, and then even some that were created within our company. Like, there's a whole warehouse management system that our dev team built just for our company.
Dang.
Learning new shit, like, just always be ready to learn new shit.
I think the imposter syndrome was a good point because like especially like the pressure of when you are on site specifically or even remote, the pressure of like you got a ticket and the person who put in that ticket, they're assuming like you know it and you might not know it, and that's okay. The best thing to do, I would say, is like pretend you do because they don't know it. So if you're just like, yeah, it needs this, I'll be back. Like it still makes you look like the hero, but go ask the question to somebody who does know it. But
Yeah, genuinely, like,
just
I
pretend you
think
do.
my first month, I transferred like 85% of
Okay.
every call I got. Like, it's just because it is partially because my company like did not like teach us a
Yeah.
certain way, but like you just can't be afraid to be like this needs to go to someone who can help.
Yeah, that too.
And that is part of your job, is like understanding who it needs to go to and why.
Like most times when I would have something I didn't know and I was on site, I'd just be like, oh, I have to go check with so and so. Not, I wouldn't like tell them I couldn't figure it out. It'd just be like, oh, this needs to be like verified. And they'd just be like, okay, that sounds smart. And then like you still sound like really smart to them. But in the scenes, you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Or like when I whip out my phone to Google the problem right in front of them, they're like, well, I didn't think of that. And it's like, well, neither did I until now. So it's like,
Yeah, my go-to was always, oh, I'm an intern. I don't have the credentials to fix that. I'll go.
yeah,
I can find
credentials.
somebody who
Yeah,
does. Credentials is a great one. Credentials, authorized.
it has to be
These big,
approved.
these big words that
Yeah.
sound Correct. And they're not
And just act like you know what the hell's going on.
exactly.
A
Okay.
good thing that'll like really help you is being willing to either create or improve whatever knowledge base you have in place, and it'll help fix a lot of those. I won't say fix. It'll help kind of calm down all those common stupid tickets that you see all the time. That's a really easy fix if you just create like a knowledge base for your users to fucking look at every now and then.
Yeah, I think another big thing is focus, especially when you're first learning. Focus on things that aren't going to be difficult to solve. Like I wouldn't spend much time on printers; those are easy.
To some.
Yeah, good for me.
No, printers are just
Yeah.
no matter
printers are
what.
fucking pain in the ass.
Printers will always be a fucking pain in the ass. You can study them as much as you want, but they will always fucking fight you. So there's no point in learning them.
Every
Especially-
single time. Also,
I don't know.
large corporations are gonna have 15 different fucking models, and you're never gonna know which one it is.
Yeah.
Always buy
Especially
like,
if you put them all on a universal print server
oh,
and fucking yeah, and there's going to be people that move printers without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Dude,
they'll
that
put in a ticket like,
oh.
I don't know why this printer's not working. I'm like, no
You
shit.
you can configure a printer to perfection and leave it, and it will still break in a week.
Yep.
yeah.
It
And if it
doesn't
doesn't,
matter.
somebody's gonna fuck it up. The
Yeah.
human element will run its course if the technology element doesn't.
Yeah, Margaret.
Your
I-
ticketing system will not have an option that says "person stupid." Unfortunately,
Margaret is gonna get fucking pissed in accounting and shove a piece of paper into the scanner bed, and it's just gonna fucking destroy everything. It's usually what happens.
Fucking Margaret, bro.
Okay.
she's
Alright.
done it before, and she will
Yes.
do it again.
She will constantly do it because it's not moving fast enough.
All right.
Yes.
I think that'll close out. Is there anything you think we should touch on in the tech segment? I really
So who'd
covers
you
a
guys
lot of.
vote for?
Okay.
What are your political views?
Tony, what's your most controversial
Alright.
take?
Wait, how do you feel about
I-
abortion?
Okay, here we go.
I would say, just if you don't know what something is, don't touch it. Which goes pretty much for everything, but especially in tech.
Also, if it's not on a live environment, don't be scared to break it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I beat
create
the
sandboxes.
Yeah.
I beat the fuck out of my local environment on the daily.
Yeah.
Dude,
If
it
it's
is
not on the production, don't be scared of
it
it.
is an abusive relationship what happens in my local on a day to day.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move into what it is like to be a mod for me, because I'm always curious their
Awful.
POVs.
Fucking Jesus
Um,
Christ.
and
Oh,
not
shit.
specifically.
Please let us out of the basement.
How much time do we have?
Can we get
The
another
basement's
bucket,
getting
please?
fucking crowded. I'm just saying.
Not
coming.
specifically like what it's like to mod like what I do in a sense, but like what was it like in the early days when I first came to you guys? And then Neon can join in the part of like what is it like from the perspective of your site to see the people that come in and like the things you have to deal with or have had to deal with, such as maybe parasocial people that get a little too excited in the general and you have to warn them, people that may have accused you of being something you aren't, things like that. So we'll start off with the early days. What, especially in the early days when I didn't used to talk to you guys in the VC, what was it like to mod for me and your experience of what you were going through when I first came to you to ask to be a mod?
Honestly, the rules are so loose here. It was not really that much. It was more so getting the server and everything set up and you
that was fun.
learning how the fuck to use a
Mhm.
computer, ironically.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the parasocials that we've had, like the ones that were a problem, they're still out there. You out
Yeah.
there, you
If you're
parasocials
listening,
probably
hello.
don't know
Yeah.
who you are, but you should know who you are.
We know
Somebody
who
else's
you are.
problem now.
But like yeah, because we didn't really have to
We know
deal,
where
like,
you live. We know what you drive.
yeah, we didn't have to deal with any of like the bans or anything like that.
That's
We just
wild,
have to-
Icarus.
Few and far between. Well,
Yeah,
we already
that's
know
so
we
cool.
have their social security numbers and stuff, but yeah, I'd say it's probably substantially easier at the beginning because all the
Mhm.
fucking weirdos, the ones we've had, the few we have had the ban have not ventured into the server yet. Aside from the one mod who hit the
We'll
ban
get into
very
that.
early
Yeah.
on. we can jump
We'll
into
get
that
into the
later,
the
but
grave of lost mods as well. But
yeah.
yeah, the early days.
Oh, you-
So
Oh,
I know for a
certainly.
fact I've passed that motherfucker on the road multiple times.
okay.
I'm not talking about that one, brother.
Yeah, wait.
Wait, we gotta wait for that. We gotta wait for that.
We're not there
The
yet.
whole graveyard. We were talking about someone else. Oh
I
man.
thought that's who Icarus was talking about when he was like, "We know what you drive."
That's what I thought.
How big is the
You drive a
graveyard
piece of
now?
shit.
How big is the what?
Is it the graveyard? Is it 3 or 4?
Are we
think
talking
it's-
about mods or just the people that have been banned?
Mod
Um,
graveyard.
I think
It has
just
to be.
2.
It's at least 3.
No, it's
3.
technically at
4.
least 3.
Is it
it's
4? Or is it
4.
at least 3?
Yeah, you gotta
Wait.
forget. Don't forget about.
All right, get ready to cut
Atlas.
this shit out.
Was it?
Oh,
Was it?
Oh
was
yeah,
We
I'm talking
the
specifically like
original person whose name started with an I.
Well, I'm not counting people who fucking just left.
yeah.
Or there have been
If it's, like-
3 specifically who have been just removed. I don't know if there's a 4th.
Yeah, removed. It's definitely 3.
Yeah, I think there's been 3 like you're gone. Because there's been the few mini mods that just like went AFK and then
Mm-hmm.
Once things kind of started taking off, probably about 3 to 4 months in, it kind of got a little busy in the Discord, so I needed a little bit more mods. So we hosted like a mod interview, and it was kind of stupid. I would not do it again. But
I'm the only
I'm
one.
so
that-
sad I wasn't there.
the content of it, if you were there for it, was actually really worth it. And
I'm so sad I wasn't there.
but yeah,
That
we
is
had
how I
some.
became one.
Well, you kind of
Unfortunately, yeah.
slipped
Icarus,
in.
you didn't go through.
You didn't go through the mod
process.
process.
I did.
Mine,
You were
mine
big.
was the genuine force of personality.
Yeah, and
Like,
you were a
that
little
was
nepo baby because of
strange thing.
Delta. So
I'm the only one that went through that. That's still here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ethan came from that as well.
I went back to see if I had the message I sent to Critter about being mod, and the first message Critter sent me about setting up a server with Rocket Cat for GTA, but that was like 4 days
Yeah.
before I hit partner. So I don't know even how I asked you to be a mod at all. I have
I
no.
think you literally just. I think it was just in a public channel somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Or
think
maybe
you're
while I
like,
was
"Hey,
live.
look, mod." That or there may have been a group chat or something that doesn't exist anymore.
I
Yeah.
had no clue what I was doing. You just messaged me and you're like, "Do you want a mod?" And I was like, "Sure." And when we first came in here, you just had a default Discord. You had nothing.
Yeah.
We'll
I
never
have-
forget the time that you accidentally gave every single person in your Discord mod.
That was classic.
We Land Whale was another mod.
Oh yeah, land layout. So we're at 5.
Yeah, but he's not a boot though.
He wasn't like.
No,
If you're
Land Whale was a
counting
Landwell,
personal
I think we're
IRL
up to
friend.
Wait,
6
well, you can
total.
cut this
It
out.
wasn't
Technically
AFK.
6. We can't forget
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah,
Not
those are.
the AFK.
I mean,
or not.
The A man is also like pretty.
No, he was removed. No, he was fucking removed. He is in the same category as them. Let's not get that.
Yeah.
Because
But I feel like he's in the same category, but it wasn't on the same level IMO.
We have a ghost
I would
mod
disagree.
that still comes around, and that's Pi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god, Pi, my beloved.
Our Canadian king.
Pi,
For real.
Pi is the whole reason. Like I have the disc. Like he was the biggest help to me because my very first stream I had 75 people. Not many people have that. And my TikToks were taking off that day, and I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. So he was helping me scrub things off the internet. He was helping me how to set up a Discord. Like he really, I think without him, I would be really fucked for my future.
that
I
is
was
cool.
looking here. I can see Delta's first message. It was February 7th of 23. He said, "Hi." I said, "Good morning. I just wanted to ask if you'd be willing to be a mod here and on Twitch. If not, I understand." And he said, "I was not expecting that. Oh Lord." He said, "Let me think about it. I also stream, so I have to give it some balance, but it's definitely something I could balance. I would love to be one of your mods." And then it just went all downhill from there. So my original squad was
What do you mean downhill?
Uphill,
what you mean
uphill from
downhill?
here. man.
Uphill. That's why we
Interesting.
constructed Mod Mountain. We built a mountain.
To go uphill.
Oh.
So the original squad was Pi, Critter, Delta, and Craig, and Pi's still around, but he's just really busy, and he's older. No.
Older, yeah.
No,
He's on his,
that was
his
it.
last few days. We were really
have a
trying to
new
be
older
nice to
person
him
now.
while he's still here.
Hi, Neon.
Wait, yeah, I thought I was the grandpa.
Yeah,
you are
Neon-
now.
You're the resident. You're the resident unk in here.
Oh man.
Okay.
Dude, we should figure out of all the Discord who the resident unk is, and that person gets to hold a special role.
Resident
love that.
unk.
Figure out who the oldest motherfucker is. in the
That's
server.
actually really funny. We should.
We gotta find out the ages in here. Anyone watching the pod, just come into general and put in your age. If you're the oldest, you'll get the resident unk role.
Yeah.
Your government ID in general, so we can verify front and back, please.
And Social Security as well.
Yeah, with Social Security and face. Mother's maiden name would be great too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be nice.
So in my Discord, I have a place that if you have a problem within the Discord, somebody in the community, something in stream, you can quote put a ticket in, and my mods and I will claim it, and we'll try and figure out the issue. To the guys, we can get into parasocial people here. We can get into the tickets. What is a ticket that you've gotten from my Discord or a problem you've received, and the messages exchanged that have stuck out to you? Like, you don't say names, of course, but like we can talk about them. I don't, it's whatever.
I think we all know the one.
You're gonna
Yeah.
need to cut a couple of these out, but I have
We
to
have to
say
learn how
it.
to
My
fucking
favorite
do it.
one is the.
Okay, yeah, we can't. Okay, skip that.
I really like my good friend Bowling Ball Guy. That was one of my
Mhm.
classics. Just coming into fucking VC, telling us all about the bowling
Yeah.
balls.
We
us
had a-
just incredibly confused. No, that
Yeah.
was
Just
awesome.
came into VC to talk about his balls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
It
it.
was sick.
Yeah.
He had like different scents for the finger holes too. I learned a lot about bowling balls.
Crazy.
Imagine being like, "Yo, girl, I gotta go bowl at 8," and then you come home and you're like, "But it smells like cherries."
Ooh.
My
I
finger
think
used
the,
my finger
wild.
cherries.
I think the
Wild.
craziest ones will always also still like you got crazy like that is a whole different level of like
Mhm.
wild, but
Yeah, I really like. I think one of the most recent ones was the guy that you mentioned, Fox, who called Craig racist. in
Bro, that
DMs.
was so
was hilarious.
funny.
I'm gonna have to hear this story later.
Yeah.
Man,
No,
man
go
was
ahead.
just
You go ahead and
scared.
tell it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rip
he's-
it, rip it.
Yeah,
we
rip
can
it.
tell
I want-
It's
I
not
want
that
names,
deep.
though.
There was
He's-
a guy that came into general that just kept adding.
He wasn't from
Fox.
America. He had like barely any English skills in a
Oh,
sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah, I
just
was
kept
here for
adding
this.
her and was like, "I sent a message to you. How are you doing?" And I was like, "Can you stop blowing up chat about this? Like, can we calm down?" And he was like, "I'm not talking to you." And then he would continue adding Firewall Fox.
the mod is so crazy.
And I was like,
Ugh.
and then other people in the community came in and said, "Bro, he's a mod. You need to calm down." And I'm like, "Can you calm down?" Then all of a sudden, I get a DM from him, and he's like, He was like, "You're racist. It's because I'm this," and I forgot what he said. And he was like, "You're a racist," and I was like, "I'm just giving you a warning."
And
And
it was
then
like
he was
it was like something normal, like not normal, but normal of like he's like, "I'm Scottish, you're racist." Like it wasn't anything like racial or anything like that. It was straight up like some like a guy from Ireland, and he's like, "You're racist against the Scottish."
Yeah, and I was like, "Bro," "I'm just telling you to calm down. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not targeting you. You're just blowing up general."
Yeah, you're blowing
That's
up-
also hilarious because two of the mods are like violently Scottish.
Yeah.
It was something of
It was
that
so
stature.
stupid.
Yeah, that
Um,
was really fucking funny.
Okay, do you guys have any more of the problems, or you want to move to a different one?
Who was the
Uh,
guy?
keep
There
going,
was
I don't
just a
remember.
lot of my personal ones were while we were playing GTA in our like in the public VCs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Icarus
Yeah.
loved causing problems.
Yeah,
Oh
it-
my
it was
god,
fucking
I'm
so-
addicted to it because
Uh,
why would I kick someone from the server when I could just make them confused and stop saying weird things? Like it's just so much more fun. I don't know.
So not a ticket, but VCs reminded me of the time, one of the times after stream where we all went down to the VC to play games, and the dude who got fucked up.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
That guy.
Oh my god, I missed
so
him.
normal. Like, dude is such a homie before he was drunk. But we were all drinking in VC, but that man said, "Do you guys mind if I get a little drunk?" And then proceeded to hammer a bottle of vodka. Like, that man housed like a fifth. I was like, "Holy shit."
Yeah,
That
he
man
was,
did
he
not
was
stop drinking.
That man did
so
not know where he was. He
so
was like punching his wall
normal.
and shit.
Yeah, he did. He was so normal. He was a little shy. And at first he was like, "Do you mind if I like smoke weed?" And we were all like, like, "You're not in my room. I don't give a shit." And he was like, "Well, I get a little nervous if people like don't know I'm high and I start acting weird." And I was like, "Totally valid. Like, paranoia, that makes sense. Like, do your
Acting
thing."
weird was
So he
an
does that. And then he was
understatement.
like, "Oh, you guys are having drinks. I'm gonna have some too." And like Critter said, he downed a whole bottle. And like this man went from like a very peaceful, quiet guy to the most outrageous motherfucker I've ever heard in a
Man was
VC.
practically ready to tear his
And
shit
Critter
off
was
in
egging
general.
him on, and he was like, "How much to punch a hole in the wall?" And he literally was getting up, like he was going crazy. I've never seen somebody flip a
Um,
switch.
Dude, I will never forget the sitting in VC and him saying, I may have a drink," fills a coffee mug of vodka to the brim, like it was spilling over, and chugs it. I was like,
No,
"Oh
what was crazy
my
is like,
God."
I remember that because he's like, "Let me make a mixed drink," practically filled it to the brim like Critter said, and then putting like a little dash of Coke or fucking Red Bull on top of it and then drank.
Rum with a hint
It's
of
like,
Coke.
oh
Wasn't
no.
even, by the way, he wasn't drinking over time. He two-handed grips the mug and just throws it back.
Like it was a
not
shot.
yeah.
I was so scared. I was like, oh no, we're going down a path we can't come back from.
We all knew immediately.
We had to text each other on the side, and we had to kick him because he was going so crazy.
It was for his own good.
What was his name? Started with an A.
Oh, we won't, no doxing, but yeah.
Okay,
but-
I can't even remember it.
No,
though,
I
so,
can't
like,
either.
he's
But it
weird.
was
I
it was for his own
was a
benefit.
homie.
Like at any moment, I was expecting to see his face just slam to his keyboard and like go silent. Like
Yeah, he was.
almost
One night.
fallen over. He almost did it a couple times.
do
But
you
yeah,
mind if I
think
have
we
a
just-
drink?
I think we just disconnected. It's so good. Yeah, I think we just disconnected him because we're like, this man is going to actually punch his bottom. Especially because one of our graveyard mods, the delete. The
Yeah,
deleted,
I was just about to move into that actually, if you want.
well, I was gonna say he
I-
was the one that was taking him on the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that homie, like I feel like he woke up in the morning. He's like, I can never show face there again. Yeah, come on, you go on. You were a homie. Just maybe I don't know, like.
Nah, do it again. Do it again.
Yeah,
Bro,
dude,
I
do
don't
it.
know.
It's been a
to
minute.
the server
Never seen him
and do it again. Please, we miss you.
Honestly hilarious, but yeah,
Okay.
we're not like banished.
Yeah, I would actually tell one story, but he's a common follower, so I'm not gonna add him like that.
Oh, fuck him, do him. This
It was
community
gonna-
should know that you're free game.
If I go back and edit this later and I don't think it's appropriate, I'll edit it out. But I was just gonna say there was a guy in our VC once that every time I would get up to like let the go get a drink or something, and I guess while I was gone, the mods would like he would say like, "I'm gonna show Fox my ass."
Oh my god.
You guys know what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Exactly, not gonna lie.
And like it was
Yeah,
only
well,
to
how he
me.
did it was when he walked away.
And the
Oh
context
my
of that
God.
was like the topic of how I've showed my ass to in a VC with the mods came up, and that man all night long kept trying to show his ass while he was there, but he was like
I
fucked
seen
up,
his ass.
so he wouldn't.
I never
figure out
did.
that was not there, but he did it like 5 or 6.
I believe,
times.
yeah, I've seen it a couple of times.
And he
myself.
specifically
once-
wanted Fox to see it.
Not once did I see it, but you guys saw his ass 5 times.
Yes.
I've seen his
Yeah.
ass way too many times.
Listen, I've seen Critter's ass too many times, let alone
That's
that
true,
guy.
but that's
Manny,
normal.
brother.
That's normal. That's normal. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah. it
All
is,
right,
but
we're gonna move into
Twitter
the
is-
graveyard of mods, but this is a story that I think it's finally time to unveil. I think it's time to finally talk about it.
Oh shit.
It's been
Oh.
something we have had since probably the first month I've been a streamer, so this is 2 years in the
Oh
grave.
no, I know exactly the
But we had a
story.
mod
Oh my
once, and
god.
I will tell the story of how he became a mod, and then the night everything down fell. But there was a guy in my, and mind you, I am very new to streaming. I'm very naive. I'm thinking everybody's my friend. And this guy's in my DMs, and he was very, like, if you were active a lot, I knew you were, like, able to be around to take care of my Discord. That's how I was judging it. And so he had DM'd me so many times, and he's like, what's it take to be a mod? What's it take to mod? And at this time, I was just modding people. It was modding hours. So I had modded him, and all the mods had already been established. This guy was an addition. Like, the last one, I was like, no more.
Can
And
I interject here? When she proposed this man, I'm pretty sure all of
yeah.
us were like, I don't know about this
Yeah.
guy.
They didn't want to tell me no, which I appreciate, but they definitely, like, nowadays they would, like, beat my ass. So that's the kind of friendship we have, and I appreciate that. But
Again, we absolutely fucking said no. We
Yeah.
each and every one of us were like, "This guy is not a good idea," and you're like, "Well, no, I think it'll be fine."
I was like, let's give it a shot in the dark. So I mod him, and after stream back in the day, we would all sit in VC and play games together till like fucking 5 a.m. because we were just all so happy to be together. And this is where I'll let the mods take over. We were playing Cards Against Humanity, and online, and it's the version that you can like make your own cards. So while the story that they're gonna tell you goes down, when everything goes down, I have walked away from my computer. I went to go make some dinner or something while we were playing, and I come back to all of this, and it's dead silent. But who wants to go ahead and pitch in here?
So
Printer's the best
the
at telling it.
she walks away from her computer, and you all know what Cards Against Humanity is. You have the option, more so on the online versions, but it exists in the real one, for a create your own card. And I forget exactly what the black card was, but it came down to judging the round. And all of us had put our cards in. We have a custom deck that has like all of our names in it and some inside jokes of all the mods.
I
So
think
some of that stuff was thrown in there.
I think the card was like you would be banned in Fox's chat for blank.
Yeah, it maybe it's something along. It was something along those lines. And all of us had funny things. Some of us had unfunny things. It's how the game goes. And the cards flip, and it is silence. Because at the time we were all reading our cards. No, sorry, we weren't reading our cards.
I
The
came
cards
back.
flipped. The cards flipped, and on one of the cards,
The very last card. I read all the cards off. I'm reading the fill in the
Yeah.
blank, and on the
And-
very
and
last
actually-
card.
well, yeah, on the very last card, was the craziest thing I've ever seen written in a Cards Against Humanity. And prior to this, we at this point in time, he had been on the mod team long enough where we all confirmed our suspicions that he was a fucking weird guy. We had already thought that this dude's weird.
We have
And
cams
he
on.
He knew he was pushing his limits already, and he had said before submitting this card, he had said, "Oh, this one may be too far. I don't know if it'll, it may get me kicked out." And none of us thinking that it could be that bad. We're like, "No, dude, just do it." And then the cards flip, and it is the answer to this card was stupid fucking N-words. Hard R.
Yeah.
Hard R. And
Yes!
we all have our cameras on. He's giggling to himself. And all of us are stone face and quiet. And then here she comes back like, "Hey, I got back." I think there's another like cinnamon vodka there or something. Like, she's having a great time. And all of us are like, just like somebody just died.
So I read the card, and I kind of just, I was like, and I picked like somebody else's card, of course. I was like, oh, that's a good one. And then I was like, in this moment, I'm like, oh, like we're all kind of like just, oh, we're all getting kind of tired. We make a separate mod Discord ASAP. I'm texting them on the side, and I'm like,
boy.
guys, I was like, what do we do about this? We're all super tired, and we close out that VC and we jump into the other one without him. And we all come to the conclusion within 2 minutes that it's over. Like,
we weren't even tired. We had all just collectively come up with the same excuse at the exact same time. Like, ah, yeah, we're tired. It's getting late. It wasn't even like for me. It wasn't even late for me.
You gotta
I'm
work
an hour
tomorrow.
behind you guys, so it was probably like 9:30. I'm like, ah, that's real late.
And so basically he gets banned instantly, but he's still friends with me on Discord.
Well, but before he got banned, I think he started to realize, because I think he saw a lot of online statuses and probably started to put two and two together. As dumb as that man was, I think he started to realize that we happened to jump out right after that card, and a couple of us are still alive. So he was like putting in the chats like, "Hey, I hope I didn't go too far." You know, oh. I was really drunk. I had 2 beers, and that is where you'll hear like we'll make the
Two
the
beers
two beers
in.
joke all the time.
Mhm.
And that's just joking that we're gonna say just some crazy shit.
Everybody knows
And
what
it
happens
come- it
after 2
comes-
beers.
It was
yeah,
his
yeah, you probably
excuse.
heard that a million times, and
And-
that's where that
Yeah.
came from.
He was like, I had 2 beers, that's just it just came out of me. Mind you, I'll let I'll either let Delta or Craig tell it, but he's DMing me this whole time too, of being like, please don't kick me out. I don't make many friends online. Like, mind you, he has a girlfriend. But can one of you two or together you want to explain kind of what this man's room looked like?
Oh my god.
What he looked like?
Just picture XQC's room.
No, it's worth so much, right? So much
He's
more.
the Asmongold of the mod team.
Oh yes, he was the
Yeah.
Asmongold.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Roach King.
Granted, mind you, he lives in the same city. He lives in Kansas City. He lives in the same city as me. We're not throwing his name out there, so that's okay. Hey, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I was worried. I'm like, this man's gonna come and fucking kill me. Like, it's over. And I'm still
to the
convinced
point
that cheese
to-
parade. I'm still convinced it was him.
to the point where I think he was embarrassed by the way his room looked at one point, and instead of cleaning it, he just changed the camera angle so that you
Yeah.
couldn't
He
see
just
it
hid it.
anymore. Yeah, like,
What you
bro, come on.
So we all collectively decided it was time for him to go because obviously
Yeah.
we do not stand for that. And there was no question about that, if ands or buts. So that is the story of the
imagine him,
first ban, really.
Like, imagine him like staying long enough to go on the Nashville trip.
No, I cannot.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think he would have ever been invited. I couldn't trust him.
We have this curse, and we'll get into it, but we'll keep on with the graveyard, but we'll get into it when we start talking about the mod trip more. But we have this curse that we call every time the mod trip comes together, somebody falls out.
It's gonna be me this year.
We don't know what
Will be.
happens, what goes thick in the
Sure.
air, but there's the curse that we all come together and somebody falls off. So we'll see how this goes the second time around.
I
But
ain't making it.
is there anybody else in the graveyard that anybody would like to tell the story of? Anything else that stands out to you? Anybody that you truly miss or don't miss at all? And what you would like to say if they are listening?
I was
They're in
once
the
good
graveyard for
friends
the
with
reason.
somebody in a graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were all pretty close with a certain graveyard member.
Yeah, dare I say, I was with this person in person quite a couple times.
Have we
Yeah,
all
in
met?
real
world.
I think we've all met him in person. It got that far, and it
Mhm.
started
Yeah.
out great. Started out so good, and it went downhill so fast. I'll let somebody tell the rundown of it.
I don't even know where to
I wasn't
start.
here
What would
for
we
the
want to
minute, so-
say?
Basically,
be
he
a
was
whole
perfectly
episode.
fine with here and got a little parasocial elsewhere, and yeah, I mean that goes how it goes.
Yeah, he departed. He chose where he wanted to be.
Yeah, and
He-
that's
he's-
That's the graveyard.
That's that.
I think
Yeah,
he
he's
realized he
where
made a bad
wants to
choice.
be. I think he realized, yeah, to your point, I think he realized he made the wrong choice, but he's now living with it. Um,
And
He might
it-
be literally.
well, no,
Literally.
well, yeah, maybe.
I think that's it's something that's what has made me, especially losing the last member to the graveyard, has made me way more guarded on who becomes a mod, who isn't, who's a friend of mine on social media, who isn't. Like when I make these people my mods, like they have to know everything about me to make it work. And if I can't trust them or if I can't trust them with that information, then it's just not going to work. And when I've let somebody in so much and then it's used against me, it's just like you can't be around me. Like, I wish you the best. I don't wish you any ill because of the memories we've made, but it does make me more guarded. So I hate that fact about all of this and being a streamer. And like I already have to be guarded from the internet. So to let people in and then get, I wouldn't say I was used, but I definitely was manipulated at times for being who I was in a sense. I think that has kind of like it's ruined how I make future connections, which really sucks. But I'm really happy with the people I do have and I trust them with my entire life. So this is where we are and this is who we've ended up with and I have the best mods.
Well, and I think me being like pretty much the most recent mod too, like shows that as much as it sucks that you've had to do that, like it works. Like you do me what a little over a year,
Hmm.
right? Before,
Yeah.
and I got to know you and the other mods very well. We became close, and that
Hmm.
all happened before you guys
I knew
probably
you
ever had
first.
a
Yeah,
conversation
that
about making
is
me a mod.
true. You were just a mod because you were just around us that much.
Yeah, I became ingrained in the group, and we became close, and we know things about each other personally, and we built that trust
Yeah,
between
that's the funny thing
ourselves.
about it. The mods is actually just a regular ass friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we are
Yeah.
genuinely all good friends with each other.
That's it. Like I don't like if nobody shows up to stream, I'm not like, yeah, these I need new mods. Like, luckily there's always one in chat and I'm very thankful for that. But it's not like I take this seriously. I will say there was one night in my early streaming career where none of the mods were on. It was a Friday night and my stream
Oh
was
yeah.
so fucking boring without them. I'm not even kidding. And I ended the stream early because I was like, I cannot do this. I was like, I think Critter
We're
went
the
out to the
content.
bar, Delta was streaming. I think Craig had a wedding or something,
Yeah, I
and
was at a wedding.
Pi was off doing his own thing, and I was like, I cannot. Like they make as much as chat makes my circle go around when I'm live. Like the mods, if they're not there, it's like a my family is missing. So it's just like they're very nice when they're there. So I do, and that's the thing is like I've never met Neon either. Not yet, at
Yeah, not
least.
in person. No, yeah, yeah.
And the mods
I've known
that
Neon a long time. You picked a good one.
yes,
Thank you.
I believe that.
Yeah, you just keep stealing Delta's community members actually.
I know. I
Yeah,
see
no,
Key in
Alright.
chat, and I'm like, oh my god, Key's in here.
yeah.
Oh no.
I have such a small community, but they're all such amazing people.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how you attract such a good little lump of goobers.
Because I get
Yeah.
the weird
Steal
fucks
from
out
Delta
quick.
because they've already been vetted.
Because like we've dealt with it. We've dealt with we have especially going back to late night VCs. We have people who
Oh, no.
Man, he
have
was a homie for
used
so long.
I'm gonna put like a beep over it. It'll be perfect too.
Yeah.
We have people who like
That
they
guy.
started drama because there's other women in the Discord and they were like fighting over this girl. And one of the members of the graveyard was a part of that. We have people who are constantly egotistical about how much money they make and how many bitches they can get. And it's like
Oh my god.
it's so hard. I really would love to go back to having open VCs. Like I love spending time with my community. I love listening to you guys, like your DMs and all that. But it's so hard when it's always like trying to impress me. And I guess that's what part of being a woman streamer is, unfortunately. But it's just constantly like whose dick is bigger. And I don't give a fuck about that. Like I just want to hang out, have a few beers without saying anything crazy. And like just have a good time. But unfortunately, like the bigger I get, and you've all warned me of that, but it's just something I wasn't prepared for this fast. But it's just like I miss just being able to have not in a parasocial way, but genuine connections through the internet, hanging out with people and learning about them. But it seems like every time we've gotten close, especially as a group, the more we've gotten close to people, it just like falls apart so fast. And I think it's just people showing their true colors, which is fine. You don't need them. And I'm happy to know that about them. But it's just like very odd. Like I can't wrap my head around it. But that's just part of being on the internet, I guess.
Yeah, and we experienced even talk about the open VCs, like a not insignificant amount of people that would literally only talk to Fox in a
Yes.
VC and
Yeah, they
crave
would
her
not
attention
acknowledge us.
and try to have a one-on-one conversation with her. And these were VCs with like 15 people in a matter of time,
Yeah,
and
people
they would
think
ignore
we're
everything else going on in VC.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Yep. Like if you're gonna talk to me, you're gonna talk to my mods. You're gonna talk to other people in there. Like when you join this Discord, it's not just me. Like don't
Yeah.
ride my dick. Don't go in there and like flatter me. If you want to do that,
Yeah,
do that.
you should
in
be riding my dick.
If you want to do that in subs and bits, okay? But
Yeah.
but In the Discord, it's like my one place to be semi-normal to randos on the internet, and it's a safe space in there. So I don't ruin that for me. All right, so last topic here, because this is gonna be a good, nice long episode. Everybody's gonna be real happy this week. Um,
Yeah.
let's talk about the mod trip, which Neon nor Ethernet or Icarus were a part of, but they can chime in on the stories they've heard and what to expect because we do have another mod trip coming up in the same place as Nashville, but two years ago, so in 2023 of September, we went to Nashville with Critter, Delta, and Craig and I. And you guys want to just share some of your favorite moments, some crazy stories, and then also, yeah, we'll do that topic first, and then what we're looking forward to in the future one. But what are some highlights? What was it like? First of all, meeting each other for the first time, and yeah, your favorite stories.
Well,
What were
there
your
was
first
a lot of.
impressions of each other when you like saw each other?
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
Who's taller than I thought he was?
Delta's story's been told. I leaked it live, but we all thought
Yeah.
Delta was gonna be tall.
We all
Like-
thought Delta was gonna be so fucking tall.
I'm
I
not.
thought Delta was about to be 6'3".
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Delta. When we were
I'm
all
like
sitting, I don't know if you know this, but we were all sitting
5'9" with my shoes on.
when we were all sitting in the car. I was like, "Yo, like Delta's gonna be tall as fuck," but like imagine he walks out and he's like shorter than everybody, and you walked out, you were shorter than everybody.
I was like, no. But
Yeah, I don't know why people think that. They like
You have
they
tall
see me on
energy.
stream and stuff, and fucking like they're like, "Oh, I bet that dude's tall." Like, cause multiple people have said that before, and they're like, "I thought you were gonna be taller." Like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean, motherfucker?
That just means you give tall energy. That's a
yeah,
compliment.
That's a
you
good
got
thing,
that big
yeah.
dick energy, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, short king with a big dick.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, literally, he
Yeah,
can't
for
even fit that
sure.
shit in pictures. Like, he has to take a panoramic shot.
He's not
I
short.
will-
He's just covering up his dick.
That's where it all went.
He's
Into
always
the meat
hunched
cannon.
over trying
I
to
never
cover
told
it
you
up.
guys I lost one leg on the first one.
He just
You wanna
walks
make it
around
two?
on his dick.
You ever see him limping? That's why.
All right.
Who
Oh,
wants
go ahead.
Dubbed it on the coffee table this morning.
I'd say, who wants to tell the story about
Yeah.
the gun?
We can tell
the
the
best
gun
at that
story. We can tell the
yeah.
Delta drunk story. We can
talk
tell
about,
the street
can we
sign.
talk about how one night I got so drunk that I pissed on a hospital. in front of
Pissed
a
on a
cop.
hospital or picked up a stop sign. The guy who was running from the cops.
Oh, I forgot about the guy that was running. from
There's the
cops.
story.
My power walk to the trash can.
yeah. So you guys go through, pick what you want to talk about. We'll all chime in on it. So I'll just let
I
you
mean,
tell
there
it.
wasn't much to my story about me pissing on a hospital. I just got too drunk and I couldn't make it back.
Yeah, I can tell it from my perspective because I was the one taking care of him because everybody else wanted to stay. We were going back to go get Delta, and we had all split up. But I don't go alone in a town I don't know, so that at least somebody stays with me.
Yeah,
And
so
so
you
we're
grabbed the
walking
guy
back.
that was fucked up.
Yes, and
I
also
didn't
he was
even know
fucked
where I
up.
was.
And so I think we were all headed back, but we had separated at some point. And so I'm walking with Craig, and he's like, Fox, I really have to pee. And I was like, okay, cool. Like the apartment's like literally like 5 minutes that way. And he's like, no, like really bad. And he's like, couldn't even walk straight to the point that I'm like fucking Wizard of Ozing his arms, locking in, skipping down the road. And he was like, Fox, I really have to pee. And I was like, okay, like we're doing this. It's happening. He's giving birth on the sidewalk. So we go around this corner, and I'm like, I don't know like what it's like to piss out in the open, like what men need for seclusion.
Nah, you just pee.
I wanted to make sure nobody was around. He wasn't going to get arrested. So I turn around to check. Half a second later, I turn around, and he's already got his dick out and pissing on the wall. And as he's peeing, I'm still doing lookout because obviously I'm not looking at it. And a cop literally is just sitting there at the stop sign, like not even like 5 feet from us, because like the hospital to the road is not that far. And I don't know how you didn't get in trouble for that at all, but somehow he got away with it. So, and he,
Nashville, that's gotta be such a regular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a regular occurrence down there. That's why I felt safe pissing on the hospital.
Yeah, my first my stomach was having a rough time. Not to the alcohol. I was just fucking I was shit. I could not trust a fart that trip. But I was also, I think I was getting over a cold or something, plus allergies, and I had a ton of postnasal drip. So like 2 beers in, that mixed with like just the gallon of mucus in my stomach. I just silently walk out of the bar. I think
We're
he will not be named, who's the graveyard mod from that trip. Follow me out. I don't know who else is behind me. Maybe we were all going to a
we
new
were all
bar.
just out in the street wandering.
Yeah.
I just power walked over without saying a word and just immediately started vomiting in a trash can just in the middle of Broadway.
Yeah, I remember turning around drunk and it was like a slow motion movie and I just see Critter's head, whole head in the trash can, not just like puking over it in the trash can. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I was having a rough time. I was still so sober too. It was purely just like I was having a rough time. I was eating Pepto Bismol like it was fucking candy. I'm shocked I didn't overdose on that shit. I know it's hard to do. I was definitely approaching that limit. But I rallied. We continued.
Craig can tell the
16
gun
deep.
story. He tells it all the time and he tells it well. So I'll go ahead and discuss that if you'd like.
So we were coming back from one of our fun nights of drinking, and there was these homies up on a balcony with like a fifth of Jack or whatever, and anyone that walked by, they were trying to fountain it off the balcony into someone's mouth. We did not partake in that, but we got to talking to them, and they told us to come up to their apartment up there. So we went up there and we went on the balcony and we were hanging out with them up there. And we all had cowboy hats on, of course. And this taxi dropped off this drunk motherfucker. Like he was hammered. And he was asking us where we were all from. And he just kept telling all of us to go home. And out of nowhere, I don't know who it was in the apartment, some motherfucker filled up a water balloon, and this man needed to be drafted into a baseball team. The speed and accuracy that he threw it at this man and smacked him right in the head. And what's crazy too is the man ate it and was not even phased by it because he was
was like-
so drunk.
The Chris Kyle of throwing water balloons walked out of that room, and between the eyes, just domed that man.
And then
Um, well, the
think I
gun
was drunk,
story is a little bit more
Passed
for
out in the
you,
room for all
Fox.
this.
yeah,
I could
it was
tell that
kind of
part.
like it really. I was every time I'm drunk, it's just everything's like a movie in my eyes. So
There was a
we
lot of different angles happening. So many
So-
people had different stories in this apartment.
yes, there's a lot of different angles of this, but there was a table between like there was Craig, table, me, and then there was this guy who was in the apartment. Then he had like his bitches, all his girly girls were around. And then on the other side, I couldn't see, but was Delta and Critter. And so as this guy like rolls up and he's like, he's wearing a cowboy hat and all this stuff, and he's like, he sees all of us because we're like, having fun decking people. I'm not participating, but this guy looks up out of his Uber and he's like, take those fucking cowboy hats off. And the guy's like, no, like they're having fun. And like this guy's really pissed. And so like he's getting real angry and I was like, I don't know, this is kind of like I'm drunk and I don't know this town and I'm a woman. I'm like, I don't know, it's getting kind of like he was getting really aggressive. He was like, I'll come up there, motherfucker. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like maybe we should like dip. And I say that to Craig. And the guy who owns the apartment or renting it, he looks over at me. He comes in between Craig and I, and he places a gun on my thigh. And he was, or no, I think he grabs my thigh. And he pulls out a gun and he was like, don't worry, I got us. And in that moment, because everybody on the patio can see this gun being pulled out. It wasn't that hidden. All I remember, and I was like, all right, it's time to go. So I get up. And mind you, I'm on the balcony. Like the minute we're all in the same line. Like I don't know how he teleported, but I'm at the balcony door and it's open. All I see is the back of Critter's head out the door, which is probably 20 feet in front of me. So I don't know how the fuck he ran. And the back of his cowboy hat, back of the hat. And he was like, well, it's been nice knowing you guys. I'm out. And door closes. And I hadn't even got to the door yet. I was like, what the
Dude, I was fully ready to leave them to fucking die. I was out of there.
It was
I don't even remember getting to the door.
I don't either.
You teleported.
Teleported, yeah.
So that was a whole moment. We went back to our apartment and that was that. But to wrap this up, for the new ones that will be coming, and to the rest of us, of course, what are our goals this time? What kind of stream ideas do we have? Any specific what bars are we excited to go back to? We had one bar where this old man would teach us how to line dance and it was like
Dude,
3
I hope
stories.
that guy's there again. I'm gonna go crazy with it.
Yeah, I do too.
I really want to figure out IRL streaming out on Broadway.
Yeah, so do I.
I think that would be so fucking
That would be
funny.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No crab
streaming's
legs
gonna be
in the
chaos.
fridge this time.
Dude, your crab legs were criminal.
Yeah. We went to the grocery store to get food for the apartment because we're there for a week, right? And drunk people need food when we come home. And this man bought fucking crab legs and put them in the fridge.
But we weren't at like Costco. We were
No.
at like a fucking
Kroger.
like yeah, we were at a Kroger. This
Yeah.
motherfucker's like, oh, I'm gonna put these crab legs in. This man thought he's gonna get blacked out, come home and eat cold Kroger crab legs. No sauce, just raw dogging the crab. Not even butter. Just
No.
fucking raw crab
No
out of the
sauce.
refrigerator from Kroger.
It was
gonna be
awful.
Man's hangover snack was criminal.
They didn't put enough cocktail sauce in that motherfucker.
It
I
doesn't
ran out of
matter.
cocktail sauce
No,
real quick.
I don't care how much cocktail sauce they gave you.
That was criminal. You would keep it in the fridge and you would periodically just pull it out through the night.
he would
Oh my god.
turn around, this motherfucker was just holding a crab leg.
We
Yeah.
would be chilling. I would be chilling like drunk, trying to recover, and then all of a sudden I'd start getting a waft of sea across
Okay, no,
the
Delta
apartment.
does not get to go food shopping. This year.
Who
No.
opened their fucking
He got
legs?
that's the only thing he got because we picked up like frozen pizza. I think we had like a charcuterie
Reasonable.
board. We had
We had
beer,
chicken nuggets.
chicken nuggets.
We were going fucking crazy with the
Oh,
charcuterie
we had like
board.
cold cuts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this man got fucking crab legs. And not the crab legs you had to crack. It was like, it's mostly fish. It's not real crab. And it's just in
Wasn't
a
it
little
just
container.
imitation crab?
Yes, it was imitation crab.
That man eating just plain imitation crab. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was fake crab too.
Oh, the one
It
It was
story.
good, but it was smelly.
The one story. The one story I have to hit on, and it's my favorite one. And only Critter and Delta can tell this story. But it's the night that Delta couldn't figure out how to use a door.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
please, yes,
Yeah,
please
I was
tell the
asleep.
story.
We were out on the balcony just chilling. There were some army guys staying across the way, or some Marines, I think it was, and Delta,
women.
They're just fucking yelling at each other like fucking apes. And eventually we got tired and went inside, and Delta stayed out there and started playing his guitar or something for like a couple hours, and at that point I was fucked up and tired, so I went to bed. And a couple of hours in, and Delta will give his point of view after this. A couple hours in, I hear banging on our front door, and I'm like, oh, I knew who it was. It was a fucking there's like a bachelorette party down the way, and for a moment I'm like thinking opportunity, but then I'm like, no, I'm fucking exhausted. Fuck that shit. I just went back to bed. Just went on with my life. It turns out that Delta had got them because they were also out in their balcony, and Delta had said, "Hey, I got locked. They locked me out here by accident," and they came over to try to wake us up to let him back in. It turns out, I think he eventually figured out his way in, and his way in was realizing that the door was not a pull; it was a push, or vice versa, whichever it was. That man, the door was unlocked the entire time. He only tried to open it one day. He was so messed up. He only tried to open it in a single direction. Delta can tell you what that man did to keep himself occupied out there, but
Yeah, what was
so
it like
funny in
from
the morning.
Delta's POV? How long did it feel like you were out there? What was going on when you couldn't get in?
It didn't feel like that long. Cause I was out there just bullshitting and playing guitar for a while. I fucking tried to open the door, and it didn't open. And then I just gave up. I gave up for a while. I tried it like one time. I sat back down and played guitar for a little longer. I was like,
Maybe it'll open this time.
fucking next.
That's- And the next morning he comes to us and he's like, yeah, I was locked on the balcony for a while. And we were like, man, how'd you get locked out? And he was like, but then I figured out I just was pushing the wrong way.
Oh my god.
I was sound asleep. Never
Yeah,
woke
not
up.
once. We were all knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, I didn't want to like bang on the door to wake y'all up.
I
and
think there
then
was
those
a there was a
girls were
body
like,
on the
"No, we're gonna
couch
go
as
wake 'em
well.
up."
So you could have easily somebody was sleeping on the couch as well, so you could have easily just like pounded enough and somebody would have woke up. But Delta was like, no, I don't want to disturb them. I'll just sleep on
That's
concrete.
Is somebody was sleeping like next to the door and window that he had to knock on, and this all would have been like resolved immediately.
And it's also that if Critter would have been more cognitive and just when he turned around because when he went to the door to check, I know when he turned
No,
around.
I didn't even get up.
Oh,
I
okay.
opened my eyes, listened, heard them bang again. I'm like, we'll wait to see if it happens a third time.
They gave up. They're like, fuck too.
And they went away after the third time. And I'm like, oh, go back to bed. I was enjoying it. I'm like, Delta's out doing something. I had the whole bed to myself. I'm like, this is great. He was fighting for his life on the balcony.
All right.
It felt good out there. Wasn't bad.
I bet it did.
Oh god.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast. Thank you guys for being here. I think we have a lot of lore. We're gonna do a live recording, and I'll make sure there's video with it when we are in Nashville, so we'll all be together to talk about our experiences. We'll probably record that on the day before we leave, so we can go over everything that went down while it's
Can we
fresh
find
in our
another
mind.
man with a gun?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure we can. It's natural.
It'll be me this
Neon,
time.
and Neon gets to partake.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Wait, could I be
Yes.
the man with the gun?
You could be.
Okay,
could
we'll
be.
see.
Yeah, it could be you.
Hey, nobody.
in later to
I don't
find
think
out.
Anybody will have a problem with the sober.
Tune
man
in September.
having a gun.
Yeah, tune in September to see.
And
I was
you
gonna
might
say
be the
that.
you might be the best person to have the gun.
Yeah,
I mean, out of this group, absolutely.
You telling me you wouldn't trust me with a gun?
Props that.
absolutely not.
No comment.
Yeah.
But all right. So hopefully this was as fun as it was for you guys as it was for me. Hopefully everybody listening really enjoyed this. I think this was a good episode to definitely be listening to. It gives you something to do during the day, but
Yes,
thankful.
hopefully you enjoyed your drive to work and or
Yes.
house chores.
Yes. Or maybe
That's
you're
one I
jorking it. They might be jorking it to the mountain
If,
right
hey,
now.
if you're straight jerking it to my voice,
Send me
Let
$5
me know. I'll
on
record
Cash
it
App.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, hey, send me money and I will get so much worse. Trust me.
If you leave
$5
a
on Cash App if you're jorking the lean right now.
Oh, I
Yep.
do have one more segment I need from you guys, and that is your damn.
Everybody leave the call. Everybody leave.
This is the confessionals. So this is what
Oh my
you as
God.
listeners send in. This is something that if you want to do me on Instagram or put it on the Firewall Fox official Reddit. I never see your name on the podcast, but I do see the name, so I don't judge you until now. So I do have, let's see here. I think I have. We'll just do a short one since we've been doing such a long podcast. Kind of short and sweet. Don't know how you feel about this, and you guys will talk about it. But you'll also, if is it forgivable or is it a sinful? Today's confession is girlfriend doesn't know that I attend BDSM events on the weekend. Probably going to break up with her soon.
Well, I mean, if
Wait a minute.
he-
You're
How
gonna
less
break up with her
simple.
because she doesn't know? Why don't you tell her and see if she wants to?
Yeah, just see if she'll join. That's the instant solution.
Like, if you're gonna
she
break
might
up
be
with
very
her,
excited about this.
yeah, if you're gonna break up with her, you might as well throw the Hail Mary of, "Hey, babe,
True.
That is true.
You want to come to
I-
this convention?
I've been going to BDSM things, getting my butthole licked while I'm chained to a floor. You into that?
May-
And hey, there are bitches who are into that shit. Like
Yeah.
she may be like, and
Maybe
with
she
no
does.
invite,
She's just
Maybe
waiting
she-
for
yeah.
you to bring it
He's
up.
been there the entire time,
Uh,
like wearing a masquerade mask, and neither of you know that it's the other one.
That's
She's
all
been the
right.
main event the
exactly.
whole time.
She may be good with the BDSM, but is she gonna be good with the cheating?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
goddamn.
true.
yeah.
Well,
she-
Well,
like,
no, I actually do have a friend that like attends those things. He said that they are like sometimes they like train you on how to do the ropes, but it's not like cheating.
If it's not, you're
Oh,
doing
it's
it in
an
like a non-sexual
instructional.
fashion, that's one thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be an instructional thing.
That, yeah,
What the
that's
fuck do you
whatever.
mean instructional thing?
I'd like to
Yeah, but
attend.
how? You're not gonna do instructional for very long before you
You
do
know,
it for
like
real.
Well,
like
if
when
you're
you're
going
in
to a
corporate
BDSM event
setting-
without me, I'm gonna like be pissed off. What do you mean?
No,
That's
no,
cheating.
no. Just
So-
picture it like this. It's like a corporate setting where you're teaching like everyone in the office how to use SharePoint, but instead it's whips and chains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's a thing where
makes
you're
perfect
learning,
sense.
that, well, I mean, both these cases, I mean, you're already cooked regardless. At some point.
True.
Yeah.
But if it's like an I've been learning thing, that's gonna go a lot better than hey, I've been letting dudes fucking slap my ass with a paddle on the weekend. But if you're gonna break up with her anyway for the reason of I want BDSM, fucking ask. There's no harm to
Yeah,
asking,
you really
and
do
you would
gotta
be
throw that Hail Mary, truly.
yeah, you would be surprised how many people are into some freaky shit. So I mean, yeah, just I mean, if that truly is the only reason, just throw the Hail Mary. There's nothing wrong with bringing stuff up and wanting to be a little bit kinkier in the bedroom.
Yeah, like
and
if
worst comes to
you're-
worst, she'll say no, and then you do what you were gonna do anyway and break up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gave advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be
We're geniuses, truly.
$500.
Would you guys consider that sinful or forgivable?
That's for
I
Uh,
guess potentially
mean-
not enough info.
Oh,
Maybe
oh,
simple
if
be
I were
cheating.
the
My
partner, I would
definition-
be pissed no matter what. Like even
Yeah.
if it's instructional, you're definitely either
Yeah.
being tied
'Cause-
up or tying
Because
up
if they're
other people.
like,
people.
if it was a
Yeah.
learning class, he would be like, "Oh, I'm doing this because she likes it, right?" And you would that's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
you would
yeah.
tell your
The
significant
only-
others. I'm doing this for you.
I think the only case where it wouldn't be sinful is if she was like, "Oh, I want to try some kinky shit," and then you did that in secret to break it out because in the bedroom because
Yeah.
she had already like that. I'd be like, "No, that's
Yeah.
you're fucking spitting right there." But the fact you've been sneaking off to get fucking paddle fucked on the
Yeah.
weekends or whatever the fuck is no, it's fucking come on, man.
All right, you
Read
get
the
10,
room, wow.
10 Hail Marys. Bless the Lord. Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
5 big booms for him, everybody. You
No,
ready?
Big boom.
unfortunately,
5
you
big
only get
booms.
Here we go.
Boom,
Boom, boom,
boom,
boom.
I think there was an extra boom in there, but
And
that's
that I'm just gonna end the podcast after you guys boom. So perfect.